Now, this lecture onwards, we all are going to learn about the physiology of the sepia. Till this lecture, we all have studied about the general characters of sepia. In that, we have talked about the habit and habitat, external feature, locomotion, and a little bit detail about its defensive mechanism. So this point onwards, we all are going to learn about the physiology. That means we will be talking about the organ system into the sapia. So we will be discussing the various system, but for each system, I am going to make the different lecture for you all. So particularly this particular lecture, we will be talking about the digestive system, but also we will have discussion about the circulatory system, then excretory system, respiratory system. We will be talking about the nervous system, and moreover that we will be talking about the male and female reproductive systems of the sapia. After all that, we will be talking about the sensory organs into the sapia. Now, how we all are going to discuss about all this organ system? We will be talking about the how the organ systems are there. What are the organs in a particular? Suppose if I am talking about the digestive system, so what all organs are involved into the digestive system? We will talk little brief about all the parts. Then thereafter, if some associated glands are there, so we will be talking where the position and the function of that particular organ. All right. Then thereafter we will be talking about the mechanism of that particular system, like mechanism of digestion, mechanism of circulation, mechanism of excretion, etc. Then thereafter, one more thing we need to remember: if in exam it is asked to write about any particular system, drawing the particular diagram, system diagram is compulsory. Okay, until and unless you will not draw the diagram, you will not be able to explain the particular system. Moreover, that TYBSC semester 5 practical examination, you have a practical in which you will be asked to draw the diagram. Because of the amendment into the Animal Ethical Committee laws, dissection of animal is not allowed, so you all are not allowed. Previously in our time we used to dissect the animal and we used to show the particular system into the original specimen. We used to cut open the animal and thereafter we used to show the animal directly. If I have some videos, definitely I will show the particular practicals to you, but in paper one, your paper one paper is totally different. Paper one practical, you will be asked to draw the diagram of all this system. So practicing the diagram is very important. So let us move to the main topic. Today we will be talking about the digestive system in this lecture. Now, digestive system, the main thing about is that the complete digestive tract is called as the alimentary canal. Any alimentary canal is complete. Note down the complete term. Alimentary canal is of two types. That means the digestive system is of two types: complete and incomplete. Complete means it will have the two opening. The mouth, it will start opening. First opening will be the mouth. It will start from the mouth and ends into the your anus. Okay, so two opening will be there, one for taking the food and one for excreting the waste material which is not been digested. So that particular type of digestive system is called as the complete digestive system. Incomplete means only one opening will be there. As we learn into the lower animals like your nidarians and all, they have only one opening. So in current and out current of the food happens from the same opening. Okay, so this is about the alimentary canal type. Now, as I told you that alimentary canal open with the mouth and ends into the anus. So we will start step by step, one after another. Each part, let us talk about the mouth. So cephalopod, that means the mouth. What mouth will have the head will cover with surrounded by your these arms. So the head will have the mouth. So you will observe that the mouth is surrounded by thin lobed peristomial membrane, and you will find that this peristomial membrane, this particular membrane, it is present amidst of the arm. That means middle of the arm. Within the peristomial membrane, you will find that circular cup-like structure. It is quite visible in this diagram. These diagrams are taken from the internet source. These are not original diagram made by me, or some diagrams I have taken from your textbook. Now you will observe this particular mouth. It is just a cup-like structure. You will find it has lots of papilla in it. Now when you will observe for the chopping purpose, definitely we have jaws. So they also have the strong curved horny jaws. So two jaws are there. The jaws are interlocked like this. So this is the upper jaw and this is the lower jaw. When you will actually do the dissection, you can cut open, you can easily find immediately after opening the mouth, you will find the calcareous jaws, which is very hard. So when you will observe the opening of the mouth, so mouth opens into the buccal cavity. Then the next part, then it contains on its floor odontophore and the radula. Radula is this. This is also a little bit calcareous part. It is having the horny teeth. Interestingly, radula is just like you can say as we have our tongue. So it is just like tongue-like structure, but it contains horny teeth on it. Now let us talk about the buccal cavity. Next, as I told you, one by one, we will be talking about the part of the digestive system from mouth to the anus. So first we talk about the mouth. Now we will be talking about the buccal cavity. So this buccal cavity, as I told you, it comprises of the pair of jaws and papilla. It is also having the radula. Then it continues, where you can see it continues into the esophagus. We will be talking about glands later. First, we will be talking about only the alimentary canal. Okay. Now, esophagus is very straight, as you all can see. It runs towards the aboral end and it passes between. I have taken the diagram where the levers are separated. These levers are connected, as you will be observing into the next diagram. So, between the this particular lever structure, it just runs. Okay. Now, when you will observe, so where this esophagus is ending, the esophagus is ending into the stomach. Okay. Then stomach is muscular, thick, round wall, sac-like structure. Then you will observe that this stomach, see, first mouth, then esophagus is continued into the stomach. Then where the stomach is going, stomach is continued with the tubular intestine. So at the junction of the stomach, now see from here the intestine is continued, right? So what you observe at their junction, you will find the cecum. Now we know very well cecum is what? Cecum is the extra stomach or the second stomach, or you can say the next belly of the animal, which is having the special, which adds into the digestion, which is having the special type of enzymes which helps into the digestion. So this animal also bears a white curved sac-like structure which is called as the stomach. Now this stomach open into the intestine, matlab same intestine will be joined by the this particular cecum also. This intestine you will find is bending. Now see, till here the intestine is continued and thereafter it is bending, and After bending, it is just coming roughly parallel to the esophagus, right? So almost you will observe that thereafter it is running towards the anus. Now rectum, next part of the intestine is rectum, as we all know. Rectum opens into the mantle cavity by the anus, and this anus is, we have seen when we were talking about the mantle cavity, that where the anus is present, it is just present behind the funnel opening, right? So now what this anus will have, the anus will have the leaf like projection, that are the anal walls. And here, walls, what is the function of the walls in the case of the human anal walls? Yes, they control the exit of the fecal material. That's why we are able to control our toilet, right? So whenever we feel like, with the help of this walls. So, but the, what is the function of anus here is very uncertain. And anus wall, no, sorry. So let us discuss a quick review of alimentary canal once again. Alimentary canal is complete type. Complete, I have told. That means it will open from the mouth and it will end into the anus. Very quickly, one after another, we will be talking about the part it comprised from mouth till the end. First, mouth. We know the mouth is very muscular. It will have the jaws. It will have the radula. It will have the papillae, and all this add into the chopping. Then thereafter, buccal cavity. Buccal cavity will have the radula. Radula will have the minute horny teeth. Then we have learned that buccal cavity continues with the esophagus. Esophagus is the long tube. Then thereafter, esophagus continues with the stomach. Stomach continues with the intestine, and at its junction, extra stomach, that is the cecum, is present. Then this intestine bends and continues into the rectum, and the rectum ends into the anus. Anus is having the sphincter, that means the walls it has, and the mouth of anus is present below the funnel. Next, we will talk about the glands, because without the help of these glands, the digestion is incomplete. So when we are talking about the digestive system, definitely you might have seen so many glands were protruding there. So one after another we will be talking about, but three most important glands are there. One is the salivary gland, then the largest gland, that is the liver, and thereafter we will have the pancreas. So all these three glands aids into the digestion. They aids the secretion, which helps, or you can say which adds into the digestion. But along with that, one more gland, hope you will remember, yesterday's lecture we will have discussed about it, that gland is nothing but the ink gland. Ink gland do not have any role into the digestion, but I am going to talk about the ink gland today lecture only. So first we will be talking about the salivary gland. Now, what is the function of the salivary gland into the human? Yes, it adds the saliva. What this saliva comprise of? In case of human, I am talking about. In case of sepia, it is more and more, we can say, modified, and it has the more and more role. But in the case of the human, what is the function? It produces the saliva. What our saliva comprise of? It softens the food. It comprises of the amylase, which make converts the starch into the maltose. So the small function. So likewise, salivary, as salivary gland is very important in us. Same way, the salivary gland is very important in the case of the sepia also. So let us discuss about the role of salivary gland. You can see the salivary gland. Now this is attached. I have just taken the diagram in which it is detached for your better understanding. So now you can see the salivary gland is pair, right? This is ovoid body. it is situated in the head region on the side of the esophagus. It is present here. Actually, it is present here. Now you can see the salivary duct. Now this salivary duct is joining this particular two lobes. It opens into the buccal cavity. You can see here it is running till here. So it opens into the buccal cavity. That means the saliva will be open into the mouth. Now when we talk about the salivary gland, so here this saliva is not used for the making food soft or something. Instead, this salivary gland is the poisonous gland. Point to be remembered. It can be asked for the MCQ. Which gland is the poisonous? The salivary gland is the poisonous gland. This gland is used to paralyze the prey. Now see when the prey, how they are holding the prey, we all are going to learn in the this mechanism of the digestion. So this salivary gland is making one type of the secretion, which secretion is toxic in the nature, and that particular secretion will make the animal paralyzed, and this gland is therefore called as the poisonous gland. Next gland, the big, when you will cut open the sepia, honestly telling, the biggest thing you observe is the liver of the sepia. Now, when we talk about the liver, it is the large brown colored organ extending from the vicinity of the salivary gland from here, and it is present here on the aboral end of the body. You will see clearly the two lobes are there. Actually, these lobes are joined, but in this diagram, it is showed separated to make you to give you the clear view of the esophagus. So two lobes are there. One is the right, another is the left. Now, this liver will have the hepatic duct. You can see very clearly. Now, you can see that this is ending into the stomach. So, what it means? It means that it is making its secretion, or it's aiding its secretion into the stomach. Thereafter, it is also connected with the intestine, cecum. These all things are joined together. Now, next, this thing you observe, right? So this is also a gland, that is the pancreas. What is the function of the pancreas? Now this pancreas, in the case of the human, it is helping into the glucose metabolism. Same here, it is composed, when you will observe the pancreas in the case of the sepia, so it is having the numerous minute vesicles that surrounds the hepatic duct. Completely they make the frill like structure on the hepatic duct, and it vesicles opens inside the hepatic duct. So same duct, pancreatic duct and hepatic duct is same. So what these secretions are doing, this secretion are helping for the starch digestion. That means it is converting starch into the sugar. Let us revise the glands once again. First, we learn about the salivary gland. We all have learned that salivary gland is ovoid body. It is situated in the head region, and they have the salivary duct. And from this salivary duct, they are opening, or they are mixing their secretion, and their secretion is poisonous. That's why the salivary gland is also called as the poisonous gland, and instead of having any role into the digestion, this salivary gland is making use of its secretion for the purpose of the paralyzing prey. The next gland we learned is the liver. Liver is the largest gland, and it is having opening, that is the hepatic duct, which opens into the stomach, intestine and cecum. Then thereafter we learned about the pancreas. It is having the many vesicles, and this vesicles surrounds the hepatic duct, and its secretion helping to the changes of the starch into the sugar. So let us talk about the physiology of the digestion. Now this is something very interesting to know. We all have learned the habit of the sepia. We know that the sepia is the carnivorous, and it feeds on the crustacean, other mollusk species. Now, how do they capture their prey? So they are going to use the tentacles. Now we all have learned about the tentacles, that the tentacles having the sucker, and this sucker is getting fixed by the vacuum on the body of the passing prey. Then what happened? As last lecture when we were talking about the sucker, so we told that this sucker is they can extend, means their tentacles they extend, they can enlarge, and after that they are just throwing their suckers and sorry, they are throwing their tentacles, and these tentacle suckers, they are with the help of vacuum, what they are doing, they are just sticking on the body of the prey, and thereafter when they are completely fixed, so what they do, they are just getting shortened. So what will happen when they will shorten? So they will bringing the prey near to their arm. Are you imagine this thing, that they have the long tentacles, they are throwing these tentacles on the body of the prey. Now these tentacles have the suckers, and these suckers will with the help of the vacuum pressure, they are fixing on the body of the prey. Once they are getting fixed on the prey, so what they will do, they will get shortened. Okay, they will get shortened, that means they will come near their arms, and in the arms we know they have the buccal cavity. Now what do they have in the buccal cavity? Just now we learned they have the salivary gland, so they are going to secrete the saliva, which is going to paralyze the prey, and these arms will help to take the food inside. Understood? So what is going to be happen next? They will just paralyze the prey with the help of their salivary secretion, and thereafter they have jaws. We have learned there is a spelling mistake, it is jaws, and these jaws will help to make the prey pieces, and thereafter they will take it where. Now what is the next part after the this buccal cavity? Then first we have learned is the mouth, then buccal cavity. So in mouth what is going to be happen, they are going to chop the prey, and then thereafter they are going to take it into the buccal cavity, and from buccal cavity they will take it into the now see, inside the buccal cavity we have see that there is one radula, and this fixed radula, forward and backward movement, with the help of that they are going to make more and more this pieces of this. Now we have learned that this radula bears the horny teeth. So whatever pieces are been made by the jaws, they will be finely chopped by this radula. And from the buccal cavity where the food will go, what is the next part? Esophagus, and from esophagus it will go to the stomach. Now from esophagus to stomach, it will go to the peristaltic action. Peristaltic action we have learned in the digestion. So what is that? That small balls. So this food will become, and this will goes into the small linear action. That action is called as the peristaltic action. Now from here, food has entered into the stomach. Now stomach, we have seen that it is covered with the this liver gland, that is the hepatic gland. So from the hepatic gland the secretion of the liver will come, as well as we have seen that this hepatic gland is filled with the pancreas, where the pancreas open its vesicles. So it will have the pancreatic juice also. So main digestion will start here, and this partly digested food will go to the cecum, where the digestion will be complete, and the product of the digestion are going to absorb into the cecum, and the absorption of the fluid, whatever undigested materials are there, it will go to the intestine, some absorption of fluid will be occur there. Then thereafter whatever waste material is there, feces we have already learned that it goes into the rectum, and from the rectum it will go to the mental cavity through the anus. Now what is going to be happen with the feces? We have learned that whatever water is going out of the mental cavity, it will take the fecal material to the exterior of the body, and it all things will be excreted out with the help of the funnel. So once again, a quick review to the physiology of the digestion. A prey is moving here and then, suppose. Okay, so what is going to be happen? This sepia will just throw its tentacle on that moving prey, and in this tentacle we have seen that it has the suckers. So this suckers, with the help of vacuum, are going to attach on the body of the prey, and thereafter this sucker will start shortening. Sorry, these tentacles are start shortening. So as the tentacle will get shortened, so prey will come near and near to the arms. Now they have the 10 arms to hold the prey very well. Not only this, they have the buccal cavity, which is receiving the secretion of the salivary gland. So this salivary gland will secrete the saliva. This saliva is composed of a specialized secretion which is poisonous, which is going to make the prey paralyzed. So this paralyzed prey will become very easy because it is not moving. So it becomes easy for the Sepia to chop them, because they are not going to move. So in the buccal cavity, we have, in the mouth region, we have seen that they have the jaws. So with the help of jaws, they are going to make the pieces of that particular animal, and inside the buccal cavity we have seen they have the radula. So forward backward movement will make the more and more pieces. Now what is the next part of it is the esophagus. So from the buccal cavity the food will go to the esophagus, and from esophagus it is going to travel into the stomach. So peristaltic movement will happen, and inside the stomach we have seen that the stomach is having the covering. You can see this. So this is having the hepatic duct. Then hepatic duct is having the hepatic duct is receiving the small vesicles of the pancreas, and this pancreas is also secreting its pancreatic juice inside the hepatic duct. So hepatic juice plus pancreatic juice, this will aid into the digestion. So here the starch and all will be completely digested, but still further digestion will be taken place inside the cecum. So in the cecum, almost complete digestion will occur, but a little bit whatever fluid part is there, it will be sent forward for the digestion into the intestine. So in the intestine, the fluid digestion, so as well as the absorption of the fluid will occur, and thereafter whatever thing cannot be further digested will be sent forward to the rectum region, and this rectum continues into the anus, and this anus will throw the whatever fecal material is there outside the body, outside the alimentary canal, not body. And from there we all have learned about the mantle, that mantle receives the water. From where it receives? The pallial aperture. You all remember in the last lecture I have discussed about it, that it receives the water from the pallial aperture. So this water is mixing and roaming free into the mantle cavity. So this water will take the fecal material with it, and this will be exit. This water will exit from the body from the funnel. So this is all about the digestion. Let us discuss about the ink gland, which do not have role into the digestion. Now you can see that ink gland looks like a pure. Okay, I have removed all the organs from it. This is called as the insect. It is just present in the thin incument of the anterior wall of the mantle cavity. You will have seen that immediately after the mantle cavity wall it is present. Now when you will observe that cylindrical ink duct is present here. It is running towards the oral end here. You can see here to the rectum into which it opens. Now see, ink gland opens into the rectum. Just a minute. You can see anus from opening is same. Ink gland and this alimentary canal both opens into the anus. So whenever the animal has to secrete the ink, it is going to use the anus only. But alimentary canal and this ink gland have the different holes. Okay, now when we talk about these walls, it has the sphincter. Sphincter means the muscular walls. Okay, into the rectum, the ink gland secretes the black ink which stored in the pigment cavity of the ink sac. Now, when they are going to secrete it, when the animal is startled, now it is going to discharge the ink. This ink is going to mix whatever water is present inside the mantle cavity, and thereafter they are going to flush it from the funnel. So what is going to be happen, this funnel will secrete the ink, and this ink is going to make the dark cloud, and because of this black screening, the animal will get the escape from the animal. So this is all about the digestive system of the sepia. Next we will be talking about the respiratory system.